Good morning. Good morning. That sounds better. My name is Daryl Terry II. I serve as the Valedictorian of Frederick Douglass High School, and I have the elite pleasure of introducing our presiding officer. Dr. Isaac Sparks Jr. is the Regional Executive Administrator for the Atlanta Public Schools Office of High Schools. He provides leadership support to our Associate Superintendent of High Schools, as well as our high school principals, parents, and students. He received his bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida. His master's degree is in educational leadership from Troy University in Troy, Alabama, and recently received his Doctor of Education degree in school improvement from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, Georgia. Dr. Sparks has served in various capacities for Atlanta Public Schools, including instructional coach, reading endorsement instructor, reading first coordinator, K-12 literacy coordinator, and project administrator for Project Grad. Prior to joining Atlanta Public Schools, he served as a curriculum consultant, trainer, and classroom teacher constituting over 20 years of educational experience. As a literacy advocate, Dr. Sparks believes literacy unlocks the door to learning throughout life and opens the way for productive participation and active citizenship in our society. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Isaac Sparks Jr.
Good morning. Philanthropist Louisa May Alcott Michelangelo once wrote, quote, "Far away there in the sunshine are my highest aspirations. I may not reach them, but I can look up and see their beauty, believe in them, and try to follow where they lead." I am Isaac Sparks, and I'm the Regional Executive Administrator for the Office of High Schools. It is my distinct honor to preside over this ceremony this morning in celebration of Atlanta Public Schools valedictorians, salutatorians, star students, and star teachers. Before I acknowledge those gathered here today, please join me in a round of applause for the South Atlanta High School Jazz Ensemble. Years ago, Plato said this: "Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything." Now, whether or not you agree with the writer's assessment, there is something to be said for the sheer beauty and excellence of improvisation that is found in classical music. Again, join me in thanking the South Atlanta High Jazz Ensemble. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge several people who are joining us this morning. Our Superintendent, Dr. Maria Castarfin. Members of our Board of Education, Mr. Courtney English, our Chair, Ms. Nancy Meister, Vice Chair, Ms. Leslie Grant, Mr. Byron Amos, Mr. Matt Westmoreland, Mr. Stephen Lee, Ms. Ashay Collins, Ms. Cynthia Briscoe Brown, and Mr. Jason Esteves. I'd also like to welcome members of our Atlanta Public Schools Senior Cabinet, Dr. Carlton Jenkins. Members of the Atlanta Public Schools Division of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Timothy Gatson, Associate Superintendent of Office of High Schools, and Ms. Tammy Workman, Assistant Superintendent for Student Services. We have community partners here from Georgia Power, Herff Jones, high school principals, professional school counselors, and staff. Welcome this morning. Additionally, I'd like to acknowledge our parents and guests who are joining us today. Finally, I wish to acknowledge our valedictorians, salutatorians, and star students and star teachers. This is your day, and this is your time. Next, Mr. Devon Davis, valedictorian of Booker T. Washington High School, will come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem as sung by Shannon Harris and Ziana Towson, valedictorian and salutatorian for the D. M. Thurl High School of Law, Government, and Public Policy.
Good morning. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
The George Washington Carver JRTC Color Guard just arrived, and we're going to call them to do our colors, our presentation of colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reckless, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Strong partnerships matter as Atlanta Public Schools strives to establish strong students, strong schools by building future through perseverance and persistence. Georgia Power has been a devoted sponsor of this ceremony and a strong supporter of Atlanta Public Schools through the years. Please join me in welcoming Pedro Cherry, Senior Vice President of Metro Atlanta Region, Georgia Power. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pedro Cherry.
Good morning. Welcome to Georgia Power's corporate headquarters. It's an honor and a privilege, again, to pay tribute to the top students across the Atlanta public school system. As he said, we are a long-term partner with APS. We really appreciate that partnership and appreciate the opportunity to host this Val Sal breakfast each and every year. I'd like to acknowledge some of my colleagues here at the front table from Georgia Power who have joined us here for this celebration, so thank you for being here. Your theme, strong students, strong schools, building a strong future through perseverance and persistence. That's a great theme. We like that theme at Georgia Power, and it's very consistent with our long-term and strong commitment to education. We have an education strategy that we call Power Ed, with the tagline, Energy to Power Education. So our strategy focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math. Why? First of all, we are a STEM-based company, but there are a tremendous number of job openings today and in the future for STEM. So our strategy focuses on teachers, equipping teachers with the resources necessary to help motivate students to pursue STEM careers. And Power Ed also engages directly with students to motivate those students to pursue professions in STEM-based curriculums. Before I take my seat, I'd like to first of all thank Dr. Kostofan for her outstanding leadership and her team. You're doing a wonderful job, and we appreciate you being here in Atlanta. You mean a lot to us. And I'd also like to applaud the parents in the room for your tireless dedication and all the sacrifices that you've obviously made to have your children here, to be a top student within APS. You realize the value of education. It is the differentiator, and it does make a huge difference. So thank you very much, and we applaud you for everything you do. So again, Yep. So again, congratulations to the students, parents, faculty, and staff, and we hope you have a great program today. Thank you very much.
Please join me in welcoming Ms. Cynthia Briscoe Brown of the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education. I do apologize. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Courtney English, Chair of the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education, and he will immediately be followed by Dr. Carlton Jenkins, our Chief Academic Officer, who will share today's occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Courtney English.
Good morning, everybody. I am unfortunately not Cynthia Briscoe Brown. She is shorter than I. First and foremost, hello. Good morning. Good morning. This is always one of my favorite programs every year. because as a former APS student, I never got invited. I never got to hang out with the fancy folks. So it is definitely a pleasure to be here. I do want to recognize, of course, my colleagues on the school board, representing Educational District 1, Ms. Leslie Grant, representing, seat 8 at large, Ms. Cynthia Briscoe Brown. And I think we have a couple of more who will trickle in a little bit later. Guys, you represent the best and the brightest that APS has to offer. You represent our highest aspirations, hopes, and dreams, but not just for yourselves, not just for your families, but for your communities, for your city, for your state, for the country, and indeed for the entire world. The world is at your feet. You have all of the talent, you have all of the drive, but all of those things come with an awesome responsibility. A responsibility not just to resign yourselves to fancy jobs or degrees or corner offices or company credit cards and company cars. A responsibility to make this world a better place. A responsibility to fight against things like poverty, injustice, educational inequity. That's your charge. So of all the things that you've already accomplished, there's so much more left before you. I'm often reminded of the words of one of my favorite poets, T.S. Eliot. All men and women dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake to find that their dreams were but mere fantasy. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men and women, for they may act upon their dreams with open eyes to make them a reality. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning, for you are a host of daydreamers. The world is yours. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm inspired and honored to be here today with so many of our future world leaders, ones who are going to force us to think differently about how we look at science, how we look at mathematics, how we connect not on a local level, but on a global level. I'm inspired by the conversations that I had this morning and as I've had the opportunity to watch our students this year. These particular students are amongst the top students in our district in the class of 2015. This morning, we have our vals and our sals, and they are students to be recognized with. To our superintendent, Dr. Christopherson, a wonderful superintendent who has raised the bar, thank you. To our board members who are here, who are challenging us to be better as educators, thank you. To our strong partners here today, Georgia Powers, Staples, Herff Jones, thank you. Because in this journey, we need more than just us as educators to get the job done. But I would like to take this moment to also salute our parents. The parents, because of you, our humble, honorable students today, the vals and sals, this would not be possible because during their journeys, they too needed someone else. So at this time, could we have our parents please stand up and our friends and our relatives who are supporting our vals and sals? Thank you for joining us for this momentous occasions of celebrating our vals and our sals. This year, our theme, as already stated, strong schools, strong students, building a future with perseverance and persistence, something to think about as evidence in these students in their journey. In Atlanta Public Schools, we're committed to actively educating all students academically, preparing them for participation in a global society so that they can become transformative leaders, regardless of their race, their gender, or their socioeconomic background. That's what we're committed to. As evidenced by today, we're preparing students for college and career readiness. Yes, when you look, we've increased the number of students who are enrolled in post-secondary opportunities, be it dual enrollment, in directly participating in our early college program, be it advanced placement courses, be it our IB program. More students are taking the IB diploma exam. And also our students who are attending and pursuing technical attainment certifications. To these things I say, we're moving forward in Atlanta Public Schools. This gives us a reason to pause and to celebrate. But more importantly, it's encouraging us to know that we have to move on and we have to do more because we have not done enough. We should have the dome filled with students of this potential, and we can't rest until we get there. To our young students, I say, this is just one milestone in your academic achievement into what you have and what you could to become. As we continue, parents, friends, and relatives, to support our students, the jobs that are out there that are unnamed today, the students in this room will fill them, will create them. We're talking about our next inventors, our next top lawyers. We're talking about our people who can solve issues around the world. So students, I challenge you, do not rest until you can find a cure for cancer. Do not rest until you can solve our issues of world hunger. 805 million people go to bed hungry at night. That's 1 in 9 people. And yet, in the world, we produce enough food to serve 7 billion people. That's unacceptable. So I encourage you, dare yourself to dream the unthinkable. Do not go alone to get along. Push the envelope. And perhaps then and only then will we realize what we know we can as human decency. One of my favorites, Gandhi, be the change that you wish to see. And through my life experiences, raise the tough questions. And then, listen carefully. To all of you, thank you for joining us for this year's STAR student program. Thank you to all of our wonderful teachers for supporting our students. Thank you very much.
When I was asked to preside over this event, I was informed that the highlight of the event would be student reflections. Please join me in welcoming Angel Gabriel, valedictorian of Benjamin E. Mays High School, who will share her reflection. Angel will be immediately followed by Asha Butts, valedictorian and STAR student from Maynard Holbrook Jackson High School, who will share with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Angel Gabriel.
Good morning. Good morning. Y'all still eating? I know. Last week, I spent my spring break at Walt Disney World. Although Walt Disney World may seem like a place for only little kids, Walt Disney's determination and passion to expand the imagination of young minds still resonates in me as a young adult. Walt Disney once said, "If you can dream it, do it. You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality." This quote by Walt Disney is so fitting, in my opinion, to this year's luncheon theme: strong students, strong schools, building a strong future through perseverance and persistence. And Atlanta Public School is the place where dreams do come true. APS students and leaders do dream big and possess a unique quality. Therefore, we set this school district apart from any other in the nation. We not only have students who desire to become the future scientists, entrepreneurs, social activists, educators, actors, athletes, or even politicians, but this district also has the leaders who can assist in making every student's dream come to fruition. Building strong schools is an ongoing process that every Atlanta Public School stakeholder must strive and thrive to produce strong, intelligent, conscientious young men and women to every discipline of study. The perseverance and persistence that everyone has invested in will continuously propel APS to even greater dimensions that we could ever imagine. Ensuring a bright future for our next generation is ingrained in our history. We sit here today to celebrate our accomplishments, but we must be grateful for the trailblazers who fought for the freedom and justice for this nation. We are, in fact, the valedictorians, the salutatorians, the star students of Benjamin E. Mays High School, the new schools of George Washington Carver, Frederick Douglass High School, Maynard Jackson High School, Booker T. Washington High School, Daniel Farrell High School, Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy, and other schools that bear the names of men and women who built a strong future for this world. These are the men and women who we honor that left a legacy of perseverance and persistence. Martin Luther King Jr., a Nobel Peace Prize recipient, a world-renowned civil rights activist, and a dreamer himself, was a student at Booker T. Washington High School and Atlanta Public School. His dream started with his parents, cultivated with visionary APS leaders, and realized through dynamic leaders and mentors such as Benjamin E. Mays. This is what Atlanta Public Schools is all about. Can you imagine that someone, no, everyone, that's in here today can literally change the world? My fellow scholars, teachers, counselors, principals, Dr. Kasarfin, if you imagine it, then it will happen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Someone once said that uncommon results require uncommon commitment. And they were right. If one goes into any endeavor saying they'll give it a try to see if it works, then their half-hearted effort will probably fail. If one wants to excel at anything in life, they need to be committed. If one only wants to be good enough, barely getting by, the bare minimum, then a commitment to excellence is not needed. If you are truly committed to a cause, you don't need anyone to affirm that within you. It will exude from your actions. I often wonder how people can be happy, content, or at peace within themselves if they don't make a commitment to something. Whether it be succeeding at work, at school, improving a skill, how do you reconcile expecting desired results without giving an honest effort? Wanting something and actually making a commitment to getting it are two entirely different things. Your goals may be big and worthy, but do you have the passion to see them through? Success starts with a roadmap and a strategy. That's just the beginning. One must be prepared to see the action plan through hardships, adversities, and inevitable failures, making a commitment to get to the finish line. I remember a motto to which I live, and that is simply this: failures are the pillars of success. Failure doesn't mean that you've wasted your time. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't start over. Failure doesn't mean that we won't be able to make it. It does mean that we need more commitment. Failure doesn't mean that we've lost everything. It simply means we missed a turn along the road. A truly committed person does not falter in the face of adversity. Until one is committed, there is a chance to hesitate, a chance to go off on another path in another direction, or to be ineffective for a while. All in all, failures will provide you the extra bit of motivation, that activation energy, and urge you to be more committed to achieve the intended result of your journey, which is, of course, to be successful. Despite the obstacles, I've been committed to my goal of being my best. I work steadily to maintain a 4.0 GPA while being involved in volleyball and extracurricular activities. They keep me focused and well-rounded. I've made numerous sacrifices to persevere in my personal goals. I've stayed up long nights, endlessly studying, annotating class lessons, sacrificing my social summer calendar to complete core content courses. However, I am very proud to have been pushed through as a member of the first cohort of the International Baccalaureate program at Maynard Jackson High School. Now, granted, most of my obstacles did not stem solely from my academics. There were numerous obstacles that were instead in here. Most of the time, it is our mentality that's holding us back from persevering through difficult or hard times. At some point in time, fellow students, you are going to be met with doubt. There is a point in time where all great people feel inferior, insecure even. However, it is during these moments that one becomes humble and seasoned so that by the time we do rise to the top, we will be readily prepared. It is also vital, very critical, to have a support group that encourages you as you face challenges and obstacles along the way. For me, it has taken the support of my family, coaches, mentors, church leaders, inspiring teachers to help navigate through challenging periods during my high school matriculation. Simply, stuff happens. Good stuff, bad stuff, frustrating stuff, unexpected stuff. However, successful people respond to these challenges in a positive way. We as humans are the only organisms with free will. That means we, you and I, get to decide how we react to every situation that comes our way. That's why committing to taking personal responsibility for your personal and professional success is extremely vital. If you all still doubt the importance of commitment, consider this story. At 6:50 p.m., as evening fell in Mexico City in 1968, John Stephen Akhwari of Tanzania painfully hobbled into the Olympic Stadium, the last man to finish the marathon race. The victory ceremony was long over, the victor had already gotten his award, and everybody had left. However, one man stayed in the stadium to watch this man hobble across the finish line. Greenspan, the name of the man, walked over to the exhausted Akhwari and asked why he had continued the grueling race long after the ceremony. The young man from Tanzania did not have to search for an answer. He simply said, "My country did not send me 5,000 miles to start a race. They sent me 5,000 miles to finish it." If you've been putting anything to the side in your life, I invite you to ask yourself, why? What are you waiting for? There will always be a new problem standing in your way, something you need to do before you can fully commit to yourself. When you think of the happiest moments in your life, the moments you are most proud of, remember this day, not because you scored great on the SAT, not because you finished at the top of your class, but because you didn't hold anything back. In closing, please remember that life is short. Give something, give everything, give your all. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to our dynamic student speakers. Now, please join me in welcoming Anna Gustafson, star student at North Atlanta High School, who will introduce our keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Anna Gustafson.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Anna Gustafson, and I am the star student for North Atlanta High School. In pursuit of my goal to become a foreign correspondent, I plan to major in journalism and international relations. Though I have not yet quite decided where I will attend, I have been accepted to Duke University, London School of Economics, and the University of Hong Kong. I have also been awarded the Presidential Scholarship at UGA. Today, it is my honor to introduce to you the Superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools, Dr. Maria Joelle Karstarfin. Dr. Karstarfin became the Superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools in July 2014 and brings an impressive record of transformative educational leadership with nearly 20 years of education and experience in diverse major metropolitan public school districts, including Austin, Texas, St. Paul, Minnesota, and the District of Columbia. Before coming to Atlanta, Dr. Karstarfin was the superintendent of the Austin Independent School District from 2009 to 2014. She began her education career as a middle school teacher in her hometown of Selma, Alabama, and has also worked with elementary-level students in Seville, Spain, and Caracas, Venezuela. As part of her community involvement, she serves on the Woodruff Arts Center Board of Trustees, the Educational Testing Service Board of Trustees, and is on the advisory committee for the Urban Superintendent's Program at Harvard's Graduate School of Education. Dr. Karstarfin earned a doctorate in administration, planning, and social policy with a concentration in urban superintendency from the Harvard Graduate School of Education. She earned a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Spanish from Tulane University, and she got her Master's of Education degrees from Auburn University and Harvard University. She has also studied at the University of Seville, Spain, and the University of Innsbruck, Austria. Dr. Karstarfin is passionate about leading Atlanta public schools and is living out our mission every day. With a caring culture of trust and collaboration, every student will be college and career ready. As a system of strong students and strong schools, APS is on a journey to building a strong future through perseverance and persistence. Let's hear from someone who has had a powerful, fascinating, and lesson-filled journey. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Maria Karstarfin.
I told Anna, I was like, "You're amazing." She goes, "I know." And I just want her to like hang out with me and just walk in front of me and just say that speech wherever I go. She's incredible. What she didn't tell, well, she wants to do the foreign correspondence piece, but she's an amazing reporter, already having done like 11 stories or something, but is like my toughest reporter and journalist. Whenever I go to community meetings, she tears me up afterwards. So I just know she's the real deal. It gets me very excited about the possibilities that other students in this room today have ahead of them. If she's any indication of what's kind of underneath all of this, the world is going to be such a better place for our APS students. So thank you so much. You are an extraordinary young lady. And also, of course, we have all of our other students. Would our students please stand? Our honorees, our VALs, our SALs, and our STAR students. This is really about you, so I want you to stay standing, and I'd like for you really quick, like name, and just tell us, and by the way, we have the book, so we know you're going to you have like 20 options for college. So just like where you really want to go, and just, just let people see your face and your name, and tell them where you want to go to college. Let's go real quick around the room.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Asha Butts. I attend Maynard Jackson High School. I'm the current valedictorian and STAR student, and I plan to attend Brandeis University this fall.
Quickly pass the mic. Just, yep.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angel. I go to Benjamin Mays High School. I'm the valedictorian. And I'm actually between Johns Hopkins University, Brown University, Cornell, or Xavier University, where my dad went to. So.
And as smart as they are, they still didn't follow the directions, right? So one, you got to do one. Which one do you really want to go to?
All right.
Oh, goodness. Keep going.
Good morning. My name is Maria Galblanco. I'm the Salutorian at Benjamin E. Mays High School, and I plan to attend Texas A&M University.
Hi, my name is Lena Adams, and I am the STAR student of Benjamin E. Mays High School, and I plan to attend Boston University through the Posse Foundation.
I'm Snowvia Dicey, and I plan on attending the University of Georgia. And I'm at South Atlanta High School, and I'm the Salutorian.
Good morning. My name is Tamia Kelly, and I'm valedictorian of South Atlanta CAD, and I plan on going to Clark Atlanta University.
Good morning. My name is Mullis Carter. I'm the STAR student for South Atlanta CAD. I plan on attending either Oglethorpe University or Georgia State University.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Crawford of South Atlanta LSJ. I'm the valedictorian, and I plan to attend Agnes Scott College.
Good morning. My name's Bernard Taylor. I'm the salutatorian of South Atlanta LSJ, and I plan to attend the University of Southern California.
Good morning. My name is Charles Ellis, and I plan on attending Duke University.
Good morning. My name is D'Ariel Myrick. I am salutatorian and STAR student at Booker T. Washington, and I will continue to be a Bulldog at University of Georgia.
Good morning. My name is Devon Davis. I am the valedictorian at Booker T. Washington High School, and I will be attending The Ohio State University.
Good morning. I'm Anna Braxton. I'm the salutatorian of Grady High School, and I plan on attending Emory University.
I'm Carter Gensler. I also go to Grady, and I will likely be attending UNC Chapel Hill as a Moorhead Kane Scholar this fall.
I'm Kendall Delaria, and I'm the valedictorian of North Atlanta High School. I plan on attending I'm going to do three, I'm sorry. Either Georgia Tech, the honors program at UGA, or the honors college at Baylor University in Waco, Texas.
I'm Anna, as I just said, and I'm the STAR student for North Atlanta High School. I suppose my dream is to attend London School of Economics.
Hey, my name's Robert. Wow, I sound really weird on the microphone. I am salutatorian, and I plan to attend Georgia Tech.
Good morning. My name is Jaria Akar. I go to Best Academy High School. I'm the Sal, and I plan to attend Emory University.
Good morning, I'm Kiana Sealy Woodard. I attend the Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy High School. I plan to attend UGA in the fall.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Giovanna Carter. I am valedictorian and STAR student for Coretta Scott King, and I plan to attend Dartmouth University in the fall.
Good morning. My name is Angelo Matos. I attend the great KIPP Atlanta Collegiate, and I plan to attend the University of Pennsylvania in the fall.
Hi, my name is Asaria Tulu, and I attend KIPP Atlanta Collegiate, and I'm the valedictorian, and I also plan to attend the University of Pennsylvania in the fall.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Otamarian Adege. I'm the STAR student for KIPP Atlanta Collegiate, and I will be attending the University of Georgia in the fall.
My name is Najee Albro. I'm the salutatorian STAR student of Douglas High School, and I will plan to attend the Georgia Institute of Technology in the fall.
Again, good morning. My name is Darrell Terry II. I'm the valedictorian of the illustrious Frederick Douglass High School. And I am undecided, but I am... Mr. English here wants me to attend Morehouse, so Of course, I'm going to say Morehouse.
Good morning. My name is Yuma Danso. I attend Carver HSR. I am the SAL, and I would like to attend Clark Atlanta University.
My name is Marlon Portillo. I go to Carver Health Science and Research, and I plan to attend Fisk University.
Good morning. My name is Zayla Wilson. I'm the valedictorian for Carver Early College, and I plan to attend the University of Georgia in the fall. Go Dogs.
Good morning. My name is Deborah Fataki. I'm the salutatorian at Carver Early College, and in the fall, I will be going to Brandeis University as a Posse Scholar.
Good morning. My name is Danae Manson. I'm the star student at Carver Early College, and in the fall, I will be attending Georgia Tech.
Hi, my name is Jaquiria Johnson. I'm valedictorian Dean Thurl, School of Health Science and Researching, and I want to attend Agnes Scott in the fall.
Good morning. My name is Shamiria Walker. I'm the salutatorian at D.M. Thurl School of Health Science and Research, and I will be attending Georgia State University in the summer and fall and spring.
My name is Keito Amanua. I'm the valedictorian and star student of D.M. Thurl High School STEMs. I will be attending Emory University as a Martin Luther King Jr. Scholar in the fall.
My name is Maya Green. I'm the salutatorian of D.M. Thurl STEMs. I'll be attending Tuskegee University as a presidential scholar.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Harris. I am the valedictorian for Thurl School of Law, and I will be attending University of Georgia.
Good morning. My name is Ziana Alexandria Townsend, and I go to D.M. Thurl High School of Law, Government and Public Policy. I'll be attending Loyola University in New Orleans, and that's about it.
Good morning. My name is Nicole Eccles, and I'm the salutatorian of Carver School of Technology, and I plan to attend Clark Atlanta in the fall.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Powell. I attend Carver School of Technology, and I plan to attend Georgia Southern or South Carolina State University.
Good morning. My name is Colin Seymour. I am the salutatorian at Carver School of the Arts, and I will be attending the University of Georgia. Go Dogs.
Good morning. My name is Vanessa Rodriguez. I am the valedictorian of Carver School of the Arts. I plan to attend Georgia Tech with a full ride both summer and fall.
Is that everyone? Did you get this? I absolutely wanted to give you a moment to just share with everyone your excitement and your future. I mean, this is why we're all here this morning. We want to see you be successful, and we want to see you have the kind of life and opportunity that you so deserve, and of course, what your heart desires. So my part of the program is to talk to you about like a challenge to the honorees. And as I thought back to, my long, old life, I couldn't help but think about the things that people shared with me, and I kind of call them like Dr. C's 3C challenge. Does that work for y'all? Anywho, my 3 C's are about courage, calling, and commitment. And the first thing that I just wanted to say is that as it relates to courage, you heard some people talk earlier today about their backgrounds, their experience. Some people are first to graduate from college in their families. Others come from very challenging home situations. Others, while everything, may be perfect in what most people would consider a life, as you heard from one of our earlier speakers, a lot of obstacles get created in our own minds about what we can and can't do. And so what's really important to think about even now, and as I looked at people who had tons of talent, I mean, I told you, Anna is a budding journalist. I know that Carter from Grady High School, where is Carter? right there. Carter did like over 2,000 hours of theater work this year. I'm really proud of you for doing that. I know that you saw Shannon and Ziana up here, singing and having beautiful natural talent that they've worked on. I mean, I could just go on and on around this about the students in this room. And what I think, you have such a great opportunity to do that maybe some of the older people in this room never really had the chance to do is to figure out your calling as early as you want it to be. And in today's world, what we see about young people is it's sort of the world is your oyster more than ever before. You're able to access information and be in places around the world without even leaving your chair. And then for those of you who want to leave and go, you can go out and explore that. But the truth is, your calling, your career, the things that you want to do really start with this effort of courage, the courage to really stand up for what you believe, what you feel like the world should be like, what you believe is really at the core of your value system. And sometimes life will challenge you on that. It will test you to your core. And as someone who's sitting in a job where, it takes major courage every day to stand up to some of the forces at play, no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, courage comes as a reality, a skill set, really, that you have to have. And I think that with all the opportunity you have, the world is indeed getting more flat. You'll just have more competition with that additional opportunity. And as you think about what all that means, always really going back to who you are, what got you to these seats today, what made you so confident to stand up and pop up and talk about what you have as opportunities for college is what you need to go back and think about when you hit some other tough spots in the road. So have the courage to be who you are and forever be proud of it. Never let other people kind of shake you at your core. And part of that comes from really taking that opportunity and developing a calling. You could be anything that you want to be. I am convinced in today's world, if you can dream it, as you heard earlier, you can absolutely do it. And what I've learned more now, because this is a culture and an organization that's been through a lot, that, I've done a lot of studies on workplace happiness and workplace environments. And just so you know, over a third of workers in the United States alone are absolutely not engaged in their jobs. So much so that they are simply incredibly unhappy people. And what the research has also shown is when they're that unhappy, their unhappiness can actually move over to your space and make you unhappy. So what's important to think about as you sort through using all the courage you have to get to the calling that you love is that you really get excited about what you want to do and you do the opposite thing. Be in the more than a third, the other 2/3, and really try to be in a space and have a mindset that's happy, that's engaged, where people want to be around you and want to follow your leadership to do greater things. And that is not possible unless you make a commitment, as the research shows, unless you make a commitment to try to make your workspace, your calling, really a happy place for you and for others around you. And the last one, of course, is just commitment. I think that when you dream big dreams and you want to try to achieve things, that there are going to be a lot of people that tell you you can't do it, that maybe it's too hard, maybe the technology hasn't been developed yet, and so on and so forth. But you can make a commitment to your dream and do it on your own. And I have seen that time and time again, being a superintendent of schools and watching children grow up, go into young adults, start their own families. I hear from them even today, and the things that they are doing didn't even seem possible to me, but they are absolutely possible for you. I know that you were standing earlier and we were looking at you, but I need you to stop for a second and look at the people around the table who came here with you. right? The people who supported you, because you didn't always and at every step get to places alone. And I'd like for you to take a little Instagram brain image of this moment. Could you do that for me? I need to see your faces. Don't look at me. Look at the people around your table. Take a little Instagram image in your mind and remember these people. And I want you to make a commitment that you will never be too grown to come back to these people in your life and other people in your life who care about you, who love you, who support you, and want to see you be successful. There will be moments, like I said, with courage, even though you might be doing your calling, where you just feel like you're alone in it. And you need to know that you are not. And it is not good enough to send a text. You need to pick up the phone or get in front of someone and make that connection again so that you get the support you need to keep pushing through what you, like I said, deserve and what we hope we can support you to do in your life and in your calling. I want to just say to you and your families that I'm so very proud of you. This is a kind of a double-edged moment in every school year where you're so glad to see kids graduate because you've been working so hard to get them there. And then it makes me incredibly sad to see you go. So just know that I love you and I wish you the very best and have a great life. Thank you.
Please join me again in thanking Superintendent Karstarfin for her inspiring words and for sharing her 3 C's: courage, calling, and commitment. Now let's welcome Carter Gensler, valedictorian at Henry W. Grady High School, who will offer a response to the Superintendent's challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carter Gensler.
All right. Is it like a little? Okay. Thank you. just in case. All right. Good morning. My name is Carter Gensler, as he said, and I attend Henry W. Grady High School. And Superintendent Karstarfin, on behalf of all the high school students in all of APS, I just want to thank you for sharing your history, wisdom, strength, and accomplishments with us today. We are very lucky to have you. And now, fellow students, Dr. Karstarfin has set the tone for what it means to be really ready for college and career, because each of us, every single one of us, has the potential to make a positive impact on this world. See, so let us embrace social responsibility, prepare ourselves academically, and accept the charges set forth by Dr. Jenkins and Superintendent Karstarfin to continue moving forward as a system of strong students and strong schools by building a strong future through perseverance and persistence. At least that's what my script says. But in all seriousness, we are so lucky to have you. I'm surprised that this woman ever sleeps. She is so amazing. She had like a 4-hour budget meeting on Wednesday. And so yeah, let's take that call and really move forward into the future with open minds and strong hearts. Thank you.
At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Timothy Gatson III, Associate Superintendent for the Office of High Schools, and Dr. Kenya Gilliard, our School Counseling Coordinator, who will lead us in the presentation of our honorees.
Good morning. We want to thank Georgia Power, who's been a long-standing sponsor and supporter of our valedictorians, salutatorians, STAR students, and STAR teachers. We definitely want to thank our superintendent, Dr. Karstarfin, for the words, the reflections, and encouraging us to move forward as a system of strong schools, strong students, by building on the future through perseverance and persistence. I certainly want to give my personal gratitude to Dr. Karstoffen for bringing me with her to serve and supervise the high schools. I'm very excited about the students. I'm very excited about their accomplishments. And I could not tell you, I can't thank her more than the words that I just shared for giving me this opportunity to work with the students and high schools here in Atlanta. Now, let's turn our attention to the honorees. I want to share with you that each year, the Atlanta Board of Education permits each school, the traditional schools and our small schools, to designate a valedictorian, salutatorian, and a star student of the school. High schools that are split into smaller learning communities will select one valedictorian and salutatorian of that school. The valedictorian is the student that has attained the highest class rank in the respective school. And the salutatorian is that student that has the second highest class rank in the respective school. Both the valedictorian and salutatorian, in order to be eligible for that designation, must be enrolled at their current school by the end of the first semester of their junior year. Meeting this criteria and expectation are 38 students today who have been named valedictorian and salutatorians of their schools. Additionally, the Student Teacher Achievement Recognition program honors Georgia's outstanding high school seniors and teachers. To obtain the STAR nomination, students in the class of 2015 must be the senior in the school who has attained the highest SAT score based on the latest national average data that we have. Nominees must obtain this highest score in a single setting on the SAT. The latest available data tells us that the current expectation for our STAR students is a critical reading score of 497, math 513, and writing 487. Meeting this criteria are 15 students and 15 teachers who will be recognized here this morning as the Student Teacher Achievement winner. Dr. Gilliard, if you would please come forward to announce the names of these valedictorians, salutatorians, and STAR students.
Then at this time, if we can have members of our senior administration come forward. Dr. Karstoffen, Mr. English, Georgia Power, Mr. Cherry, and Mr. Shrewsbury from Herff Jones, if you'd like to join us in recognizing our honorees. For our first group of honorees, representing the Business, Engineering, Science, and Technology Academy at Carson, we have students from BEST, their principal, Dr. Timothy Jones. The valedictorian from Best Academy High School is Mr. Amadou Bob, but Amadou could not be here with us today. He's actually a Coca-Cola scholar, so he had to attend their Leadership Academy with them. Salutatorian is Jaree Acart. Star Teacher, Erica Perea, And we ask that you please hold your applause till all students have been called. Next, representing George Washington Carver High School of the Arts, we have Principal Dr. Marvin Pryor. Valedictorian, Vanessa Rodriguez Badillo. Salutatorian and star student, Colin Seymour. Star teacher, Mr. Kamau Mason. Next, representing George Washington Carver Early College High School, Principal Ms. Marcine Thornton. Valedictorian, Zayla Wilson. Zayla Wilson. Salutatorian, Deborah Fataki. Star student, Dania Mason. And star teacher, Dr. Thomas Gaucher. Next, representing George Washington Carver High School of Health Science and Research, Principal Dr. Marcus Jackson. Valedictorian, Marlon Portillo. Salutatorian, Yuma Danso. Next, representing George Washington Carver High School of Technology, we have Principal Ms. Josie Love. Valedictorian, Damian Powell. Salutatorian, Nicole Eccles. Next, representing Frederick Douglass High School, we have Principal Dr. Tony L. Burks III. Second, I'm sorry, Dr. Tony L. Burks II. Valedictorian, Mr. Darrell Terry Jr. The second. Okay, I'm sorry, Darrell Terry II. Salutatorian and star student, Nigel Yarborough. And star teacher, Ms. Tara Pitts. Representing Henry W. Grady High School, we have Principal Mr. Timothy Guining. Valedictorian and star student, Carter Gensler. Salutatorian, Anna Braxton. And star teacher, Mr. Roderick Pope. Next, representing Maynard Holbrook Jackson High School, we have Principal Ms. Stephanie Johnson. Valedictorian and star student, Asha Butts. Salutatorian, Kiara Brown. And star teacher, Mr. John Murray. Next, from the Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy High School, we have Principal Dr. Chandra Fears. Valedictorian and star student, Jovanay Carter. Salutatorian Kiana Seeley Woodard. And star teacher, Miss Andrea Adderley. Representing Benjamin E. Mays High School, we have Principal Mr. Rick Fowler. Valedictorian Angel Gabriel. Salutatorian Maria Gallo Blanco. Star student Lena Adams. And star teacher, Dr. Arana Kalese, also known as Dr. K. Next, representing North Atlanta High School, we have Principal Mr. Curtis Douglas. Valedictorian Kendall Delaria. Salutatorian Robert Leon. Star student Anna Gustafson. And star teacher Mr. Andre Regan. Representing South Atlanta High School of Computer Animation and Design, we have Principal Ms. Tracy Aston, Valedictorian Tamia O'Kelly, Salutatorian Synovia Dossie, star student Mose Carter, and filling in for our star teacher, Mr. Cedric Suttle, is the school counselor, Ms. Star Whitley. Representing South Atlanta School of Health and Medical Sciences, we have Principal Dr. Patricia Ford, and like many of our students, our Val and Sal at South Atlanta have been called off to scholarship visits, so they were not able to join us today. But standing in for them is their wonderful counselor, Ms. Carla Aldridge, for our valedictorian and star student, Jordan Favors. And salutatorian, it's Precious Blaylock. This Precious' mom. She's coming here first. And then the star teacher is Miss Christy Wynn. Representing South Atlanta High School of Law and Social Justice, we have Principal Ms. Charlotte Davis, Valedictorian Jasmine Crawford, Salutatorian Bernard Taylor, and star student Charles Fitzgerald Ellis, Jr. Star teacher, Mr. Thomas Dunn. Next, representing the campus of Daniel McLaughlin Tharrell High School is the principal, Ms. Shelley Powell. Representing the School of Health and Research, Health Science and Research, are valedictorian Jakiria Johnson and salutatorian Shamiria Walker. From Law, Government, and Public Policy are valedictorian Shannon Harris and salutatorian Ziana Townsend. Representing the School of Technology, Engineering, Math, and Science are valedictorian Kiithu Amanua, Salutorian Maya Green, and filling in for star teacher, Mr. Travis Salters, is their counselor, Ms. Cassandra Bolding. Representing the campus of Booker T. Washington High School is Principal Dr. Tashara Wilson, Valedictorian Devon Davis, Salutatorian and star student is Diario Myrick, and star teacher is Ms. Gambria Lightfoot. And last but certainly not least, with their first graduating class, we are proud to have students from KIPP Atlanta Collegiate High School. The principal there is Mr. Dave Howland. Their valedictorian is Isawe Tulu. Salutatorian Angelo Matos. Star student Odamiri Inadinge. And star teacher, Mr. Lester Caldwell. Please join me in celebrating our valedictorians, salutatorians, star students, and star teachers for the class of 2015. At this time, I'd like to invite Kiana Seeley Woodard, the salutatorian from Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy, to come forward for a special presentation, followed by a class poem entitled New Blueprint, written by Angelo Matos, the salutatorian from KIPP Atlanta Collegiate High School.
Good morning. Dr. Karstarfin and Dr. Gatson, please join us in the front of the stage, please.
Yes.
Superintendent Karstarfin and Dr. Gatson, on behalf of the valedictorians, salutatorians, and star students in the class of 2015, we would like to present you a commemorative poster of today's event. Again, thanks for all that you do to ensure that we leave as future leaders and ready for college and career.
Special events like today's ceremony require the support of a dedicated staff. Please join me in thanking my co-chair, Dr. Kenya Gilliard, for making today's event a success. Come on, sir. I'm sorry. I got a little bit ahead of myself. He was standing over there in the corner. I'm sorry, sir.
Good morning. Primariamente quisiera empezar con agradecer a mi madre por siempre ser una luz permanente en mi vida. Muchas gracias, mami. La quiero muchísimo. At the point in the poem where I name the namesake of your school or the founder of your school, please stand briefly to honor them. New Blueprint. Education is a foundation of a strong society. While kissing the horizons of success, we have learned that our subjective horizons are not limitations, but the aim of our efforts. That those horizons popular belief push to be seen as achievements are simply stepping stones in our roads to success. are roads to chaotically alter our realm of existence, to shatter the crystal cages of racial limitations and blaze a new trail. A trail that those walking behind us can use as a new point of reference. But none of this came with ease. Grit and tenacity were key in our pursuits. As the dark shackles of insecurities and adversity constantly reached to hinder those aiming for the clouds, people like Mike Feinberg, Dave Levin, Benjamin S. Carson, George Washington Carver, Alonzo Krim, Frederick Douglass, Henry W. Grady, Maynard Jackson, Coretta Scott King, Daniel M. Thoreau, Benjamin E. Mays, Booker T. Washington, and Dr. Karstafen warned that our road is not an easy one to travel. Thorns and boulders are prevalent in our path, but they prove that the fruits of effort are the sweetest fruits of the garden. We will be the Washingtons and Kings of future generations, but only if we remain culturally conscious. We will use this education we were fortunate enough to maximize and ensure others harvest fruits of success as well. What is a drop of sweat in an ocean of indifference? Again, I ask, what is a drop of sweat in an ocean of indifference? Rational thinking proves that drop is meaningless, but if we unite our efforts, that one drop of sweat becomes 1 billion. And now indifference has a true rival. Indifference is a poison. That results in modern day segregation that we can only battle with those 1 million red drops of effort. Not all open doors are doors to walk through. Most best be avoided. Always seek the keys to the locked doors, because once we gain entrance, we can leave it cracked for those following behind. Just be ready for all the new locked doors that await behind. Sorry. Remember never to flutter too long on your current horizon, because there is always a new place where the sky and the mountains kiss. We will resurface our society and paint a new blueprint, which will ensure the success for future generations. Thank you.
Right. So as we get ready to close out the program, I just want to let you all know that it has indeed been an honor to serve as the co-chair of this event this year. Students and parents, I enjoyed meeting each of you and having conversations with you late at night and in the grocery store and all the other places that we had little chit-chats. The thing that's special about this event is this is sort of the kickoff to commencement. So we are very excited as we move forward in the next couple of weeks to seeing you all cross the big stage and have your big moments, and we'll have everyone there. So, but there are a few people that I definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge and thank at this time. Malcolm X once stated that education was our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And as you have heard from Angel, Asha, and Superintendent Karstafen, the road may not always be easy, but the end result of achieving your dream is always worth the journey. Thank you to our corporate sponsor, Georgia Power, for your generosity in hosting this event for us. Thank you, Mr. Shrewsbury from Herff Jones, and all the support that you provide us with commencement regalia, caps and gowns, senior yearbooks, all the things that parents have spent money on throughout the year. And finally, I want to thank Mr. Chris Williams, who is here from Georgia Power, who has assisted us with preparing for this event today. So, Mr. Williams, if you will come forward, we have a small token of appreciation that we want to provide you. So, as you all know, Mr. Williams works here at Georgia Power. He's their corporate coordinator for public relations and corporate activities, but Mr. Williams is also a graduate of Frederick Douglass High School. He was a former valedictorian from Frederick Douglass from just a few years ago. But we did want to provide you a token of appreciation on behalf of APS and the Frederick Douglass community. I think this is something that you will like and be able to treasure in your office. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
Castro.
Now I just have a few brief announcements. Val, Sal's, and STAR students, when the program concludes, if you will, please come forward. We have a pack. I think Mr. English started this last year, so we will continue with our Sharpie pens so that you can autograph your posters for Dr. C and Dr. G. So we want to make sure that we have you just come forward and sign those. For any of the students who are riding the bus back to school afterwards, we do ask that you remain seated so that we can make sure that you are escorted to the appropriate bus and have you back at school. If you are leaving with your parents, please have that conversation with the administrator from your school. Also, as everyone leaves, these badges that we have, these visitor badges from Georgia Power, when you scan out of the building, please make sure that you leave them at the front desk because we want to make sure that these are returned to the staff here. And that concludes my announcements. Mr. Sparks, thank you for presiding over the ceremony today. Let's give Mr. Sparks a hand. And with that being said, this concludes our annual Valedictorian, Salutatorian, and Star Student Awards ceremony. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful rest of the morning.